How we doing out there? First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. Is my Zoom all the way up or something on here? Because for some reason I feel like I'm so close to the screen. Maybe it's because the room is so small. All right, just dropping my down a little bit here. Gotta go grab me a shirt. I might just take you guys with me. So I have my shirt that I wear for work on. So a few things I got to talk about, and on top of that, just basically getting done the rest of the work. Early in the morning, I ran out of frog tape, so I had to order some more next day. So that'll be here around 10 o'clock, so I can finish this screen out. We got the black 12 right here. We're just going to finish this out. I'm just lining this up right now, but out of tape. So this is going to wait for a while till that gets here today. And for right now, I'm going to start working on the artwork for my system upstairs to match my projector down here. It's going to be upstairs pretty soon. And I'm also too going to do a paint job on the box. I'm going to turn a box into like a bio container. Really easy to do. Some bulbs, LED lights on, some paint. That's basically about it. And a bit of imagination. Make yourself a nice stand for your projector. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the top part where it's going to sit at in bone white, because that's going to allow it to be to reflect better. All right, just had to grab me a shirt to wear. If I got a hat in here anywhere. Didn't cut my hair today. Usually I shave my head, but last couple of days I've been a bit busy and haven't had any time to shave my head. There we go. I got to clean the table off, get that done. So we're starting on this today. So today I'm going to be laying a little bit of that spackle caulking and lay the foundation to make it easier for me to apply the paint. So I'm going to start working on that. I finished the paint job on it this morning when I got up. I think my camera's really on zoom. I feel like it's on zoom. Anyway, let me bring it back here because you just need to see the top part anyway. That's what I'm going to be at today anyway. Let's see if we can get a shot from here. This will work. How far do I need to be up? I think I'll get it from there. There we go. All right. So that's what I'm working at today. Working up there today. Like I said, I was hoping to have all this done by Saturday. Not going to happen. Today is Saturday. So, some other announcements I'm going to be making. We do about 72 to 36 containers a week. I think we're going to leave it at that. So we're just going to, for now on, because like I said, I don't want to do too many of them. Honestly, to tell you the truth, being honest with you, I'm comfortable at where the rate I'm at, and I'm going to stay at that rate. So what we're going to do is our ship out dates are going to be between Friday and Saturday. Hey, how you doing? Ship out dates are going to be between Friday and Saturday. And we're just going to have it where either you have two choices. You can place the order before the ship out date, or you could basically be a part of the containers, which means once our containers deplete, we don't have any more left. We're not going to ship out any more orders until next week. That's how we're going to do it. So it's just going to be that once we reach 32, or we deplete 32 or 72, which would be the maximum, they're not going to ship out anymore, which means you'll have to wait till next week. Put your order in, but your order won't go until next week. Once those containers are done, they're done. They don't order anymore. So that's how we're going to do it from now on. It's just easier for us that way. It's much, much easier for us to wait. Once the containers are complete, or that's how we're going to do it. It's easier. It's a sign of the times, people. Just how things have to be changed for companies and how they can function better. That's how it is. And I try not to overwhelm myself with too much work, or try to take on too much bite off more than I can chew. So if I'm happy there and the Lord tells me that's where I should be at, then that's where I'm going to be at. So if you're a big company, you go in and you place an order for a large order, we will have to deny your order because we just are not going to have the resources to do that, number one. And then number two, I had to take care of my customers. So my customers are going to come first before a company. What day is it for me? It's Saturday. It's any other day. Sunday will be the Lord's day. Why would you ask that question? That's a weird question to ask. Don't let me find out you're one of them trolls. I'll ban you from my channel. People know that from the door. I block people left and right. I don't tolerate that. I got to measure my screen out. I got to figure out, okay, one of these got to fit in the other room. So this is going to stay here. The other one's going in the gaming room. So I'm doing a tutorial video. You know, like I said, it's a long video. You don't got to watch. You can leave out, go do something out. I'm pretty sure you got other things to do besides sitting here and watch these videos with me. Or here, you can come back in later on and always watch. So it's no biggie. Basically just tutorial video. That's all it is. Because once I get done this thing, like right now, I posted the projector on a couple of sites and I got people already emailing me, asking me if I'm doing customized projectors now. I'm like, no, we're not doing customized projectors. It was just done for fun, just to show people, you know, I mean, you can do something different with your projector. But now I'm getting orders for people who want their projectors customized. But wait till they see the powder blue. Because I got a friend of mine who does what they call it, powder painting or whatever it's called. We can blast the cases, but they look real shiny. Yeah, he's going to do it. We're going to do a couple of those. But no, I'm not doing those. That's too much work. That was done for fun. All right, so let me get the top of this and get this done. And get this started. All right. I'm not going to be able to answer any questions. Nothing at all whatsoever. You got to excuse my socks. They are dirty, which I don't care because I'm working. All right, this time I'm worried about hitting my screen. I'm not going to be talking about any projectors today. I'm sorry. I don't know much. People have been asking me questions like about fixing this and fixing that. I don't know anything about fixing certain projectors. The only ones I'm more familiar with are the Christie's and Sony's. I've taken a few of those apart. Those are projectors that you can actually go in and you can change out the lenses and stuff like that. I'm familiar with those, but I'm not familiar with anything else. So I would suggest going to a form site or calling the manufacturer itself and getting that information on exactly what you could do to fix the problem. But I can't give you that information at all, period. Wouldn't try to give you the information at all because it would be wrong, especially since I don't deal in that field. I don't do projector repairs on that field. Only with my own stuff, but I wouldn't advise anybody something. I would advise I can tell you what it might be, but that's it. Can't tell you nothing more. So if you keep pressing on that conversation, sorry, I can't help you out there. I'm not being rude. I just can't help you out with something I don't know. Whoa. Almost. I'm going to have to put this on the paper before I put this out because I want to make sure I don't hit my screen with this. This is something really hard to get off your screen. And it's going to leave a bumpy ridge to it. So all I'm doing right now is just putting on some kind of foundation so I can give it kind of a rough texture to it like I did with the projector downstairs. Just giving it a rough texture. Best use for me. I use cardboard. Cardboard works better for me. This is gonna be easy to do. Unlike the projector, I had all those grooves in places I had to go try to tap. This is a little easier to do. Much easier. that away from the motor. It's nice and clean up the area of the motor. Put my hand across that to make sure. This is done pretty good. Just kicked in there. Okay. That's good. Foundation's good in there. You get a little dizziness from time to time. Like, no, this is just the border. We're just painting the border right now. We are nowhere near completion. Nowhere near completion. We got so much to do. There's wires that got to run through this thing. There's a nuclear reactor that's going on that end right there. Cables are all going to glow in the dark. Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done with it. This is just doing the border right now. The actual screen is actually this color. This is the new gamer paint that I developed. Finally got it 100% complete. That's the new stuff right there. That's going there. Yeah, we're nowhere near completion. This is the beginning stage. Once we put all this up here, the caulking, put it up there nice and thick so it comes down. Underneath the screen, you want to put it nice and heavy, and you want to just tap it because you want it to come down like icicles. You want to look like it's been decaying there, like the projector looks downstairs. You want to like it's been there for a while, decaying. That's all. This just adds texture to the surface. You want to put it nice and thick at the bottom. That way, you bring it down, and adds a bit of an icicle effect to it. You know, I don't know the company called, I don't know where they're based at, but come on, man. Like, I got one tracking number from them. If anybody had any problem getting their packages or whatever, maybe they're from overseas. I mean, the tracking number they gave to me doesn't look like any tracking number I've ever seen before. I've never seen a tracking number starting with an S. So, you know, it's on its way. But at least got here first before them. But maybe they might be overseas. They could be stationed overseas. But there's no information there showing where they're stationed at. So I got to go do some research on them. Figure out exactly. I'm pretty sure it's going to get here, but just don't know when. If it takes longer than 2 weeks, I'm just going to call PayPal and just get the money put back on my account. No biggie. But I really would like to have that surface here. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. Mine's supposed to be, my shipping time was supposed to be 2 to 7. So this is why I do my ship out dates are recorded. I constantly give out information to my customers because I don't want them to be sitting there in the dark trying to figure out where their stuff is at. You know, usually most people that ask questions that people are not used to are coming there and buying paint from me for the first time. But I said before, you know, you don't have to like, but I don't mind. I'm not into subscribers to, I mean, I appreciate my subscribers. I really do appreciate the subscribers on my channels and stuff like that. I do appreciate that. But mainly for me, my point of view for my subscriptions are for people for information, because we give out tracking information, we give out shipping information through our channel. It's easier to do it that way than to send 75 to 40 emails out to people. It comes out better if I do it that way. So if they subscribe, they get a chance to get updates on what's going on with packages and stuff like that. That's the reason why I use my for my descriptions, but I don't use them for most people. Just want a whole lot of subscribers and stuff like that. You know, for me it's just different. It's a source of being able to get out information a lot faster. I'm not liking this whole chair thing right now for me. I'm dizzy as I don't know what. But you know, gotta watch out, make sure I don't kill myself in the process of doing this. I actually had enough. I didn't think I was gonna have enough. It usually took more. It took more of this to finish off the one downstairs. I'm gonna put a ridge on this. You can't have this looking like this. So we need a ridge there. And you want it in that thick ridge here. Because we can't have it looking like that. Yeah, it has to look really, really decayed. It's been there for a while. You know, that's how it has to look. I take my hand every once in a while and back and forth, make sure we're not touching that. So I trust everybody's having a good day today. That's good. You're having a good day. So again, I got to make it overlap on the top so we can get nice and thick, so we can get those icicles. I call them my icicles to drop down. There we go. That's what I want. That's what I want. Yeah, that worked out great. Oh, I guess I am gonna need another one. I got to do the bottom one too. I forgot the bottom has to be done too. So I guess I'll go order me some more. Man, I just cracked my knuckle. All right. I got nothing hitting. Oh, this came out real nice. I like how that one dropped. That one came out real nice. All right, put it over here. Start on this side over here. Ooh, down there. Yeah, fun making the other one. That's pretty fun. I'm gonna do me another one. I'm gonna do me a baby blue. Yeah, but I had a few people. I went over and showed off some pictures on TikTok. I don't go there much, but I showed off some pictures on TikTok, and then I went over and showed off the projector on my Instagram, and I had a few people chime in and ask me, do I do that? I'm like, no. I don't do that. That's just something I just did for fun. They haven't even seen the whatchamacallit yet. They haven't even seen, they saw the projector, they haven't even seen the string yet to go with it. Screen to match it with it. Haven't seen that yet. And as always, and every time on every channel, I sit there and go, well, it's not me. This is all coming from my Lord and Savior. He's the one that teaches me how to do all this stuff. So this is what we're going to do today. This is what we need to do this today. Come follow. Come learn. I'm not going to argue with that. Never give yourself the glory. Always give it to Him. That's what you do. That's what you do. Always give Him glory. Always give Him thanks. So I'll show you up close once I get done doing this, because I can't do this and basically hold the camera at the same time. That is virtually not going to happen. I'll show you the work I got done doing right now. Now we're building the texture up here. This makes it much easier for the paint to be applied, number one. And then it gives it that kind of corroded look once we start blending in those colors. Makes a nice foundation in there. Have to make sure you get some of this on the Bible symbol. This looks like that's been there for a while. Thicken this up big time. Running from the back, make sure we're not tapping anything, anything's being hit. If it's going to interfere with the motor, or anything's going to interfere with the screen going back up. Where did you learn to do all this from? I learned from my Lord and Savior. Best teacher in the world. Best teacher in the world, whether people don't want to hear it or not. I think I'm done here with this. Best teacher in the world. Never had to go to school for it. That's it. Best teacher in the world. It's nice and heavy here again. So I'm going to get underneath this really good. Yeah, this should be fairly easy. The other one had so many curves in it, man. I had to go around this and go around that and this, that, and the other, just to get that the way I want it. So I'm going to show you what we got here. So this is what we got so far. That's all done right there. Give a nice corrosion look to it. I like how that came out right there. And once that foundation's laid, it'll look just like it's corroded, like it's been there for many, 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 many years. There we go. I think he's in there talking about God again. Oh, really? Yeah. What's he doing? He's in there talking about God. Yeah, maybe it's something like God. What of it? How does that bother you? So the devil will tell you that, hey, look, Ken, if you talk about the Lord in your channel all the time, you're going to lose business. So don't talk about God. Don't even bring up his name, because there are going to be people that are going to be upset, and that's going to bother them, and they're not going to want to buy from you. Oh, wow. Such an evil lie the devil will tell you. Oh, don't talk like this or don't act like that, because people won't basically buy from you. And yet, my table always stays blessed. More than so, it stays blessed. So there we are, we're done on that part right there. That's why I can come in here, and I don't have to have anybody in the room to listen to me talk. I can come in here and do my video demonstrations. Later on, my channel fills right back up again. It fills right up quite nicely. So I don't mind no one's in here listening to me talk. That don't make a difference to me. I'm in here enjoying myself, sharing what the Lord blesses me to be able to do. If you want to watch, you watch. And if you don't, you don't. It's up to you. Right. Oh, I like how that's going to lay. That's going to lay quite nice. All right, cool. Remember, I gotta put a nice little edge on that, because I need to put a LED light underneath that. That needs to be a little smooth. All right. Yeah, that's perfect. All right, so that's done. That's one part of the caulking that needs to be done. Add a little nice foundation to that. Stick it a little better in there. All that covered up a little better. So that can't look too obvious. Get some off the chair, so that's good. Ah, this is coming up quite nicely. Quite nicely indeed. Okay, that's done. Part's finished. I don't think I have to worry about any paint landing anywhere it needs to land because I got to tape this off anyway. So since that's done, I don't have to really worry about doing the front area yet. But the back LED lights I can install on. But right now, I just want to get my tape off my screen. It's all finished. Oops, I forgot I kind of HD one thing. Come on, come on, Papa. See, okay, so we have to put along the rigid here and come back around this way. I'm going to tape this off. Yeah, that's what I have to do. I can run a Q-tip along there and clean it up. It's much better. Maybe the detail is the Q-tip. I gotta go too. So we get this cleaned up in here. I can have the freezer room. So not done yet. So now I've got the borders already completely painted. That's done. All we got to do now is just go in it and put the green, which we're going to do it later on because I need to get more frog tape. I'm out. So this is going to go in the middle, right here, right there. I'm not worried about anything that might have bleed through because, like I said, once I take this off, it's going to trim it off real nice. So we're just going to reapply the tape. We're going to put the tape on the outside, and then we're going to paint the screen on the inside. This is the same thing how the screen downstairs is looking. It's white. It has a bone white border, and the inside of the screen is going to be jet black. But how you got to do that one is that the screen, when you paint it in, it can't fit. Okay, put it this way. So when I project onto the screen, we do white screens. When you project onto them to make the screen stand out, the screen can't sit exactly to the white border. It has to have this much, if I can get my hand in there, it has to have this much of a thin border around the actual screen, so it makes the screen pop out. So you have your image, thin border, and then the white, the bone white, and it makes it stand out, makes it pop out. That's how I did the one where I did an actual fixed frame. This time we're just doing motorized. So next, like I said, along the way, I might do different colors, and since when I get a chance to pop open one of those projectors and see exactly how many wires may be connected here and there, if I can pop it out and have a clean chassis, we remove everything, pop out the buttons and all that stuff. It's the same thing if you do computer cases, same scenario, just removing the case. Go out and prime it, and then basically I can blast it to any color I want to match my border for my projection screen. So you see what I'm getting at here? There we go. Yay! That's what we're doing. Got a piece of tape in here. Didn't quite come off the way it was supposed to. There we go. That's better. All right, so now that's done. That's completed. We'll clean my mess up in here. So we can keep it nice and tidy in here as we work. And here's my paint pan box I built, which all I can do is just chrome it up, throw all that in the trash. I'm done. Yeah, I can't lay that down. That's the best paint on the edge of this. I don't want to mess up my floor in there. So we just lay that there for right now. So what I'm gonna do next, because on this frame right here, the back, the very back, I'm gonna run green neon lights from the back, and then we're gonna put another set at the bottom. So that's why I had to make sure when I was putting the heavy caulking there, I had to keep taking my finger and run along the side of it to make sure it wasn't actually hitting the actual screen, and also to make sure I had a thin enough pathway so I can run LED lights. Yay! So once that dries, we have a nice texture to it now, a nice corrosion texture, and then we just put in the different colors to blend it in real nice. I think I'm gonna keep it nice and dark around the edges, a lot of corrosion around the edges, real dark, and underneath I want it to be nice and black. So that's the paint job we're doing that one. These are different. Yeah, so same scenario, but these are different. All right. So you gotta be, here's the thing, okay, real quick. When you're buying LED lights, I gotta figure out what box these are. There are certain LED lights, and now I don't know why they're making them this way, but they used to have the extensions on the other end, so you can actually daisy chain them together like I have going around my ceiling. Some of the companies now are making them now where they're just snapping them off at the end. So there's no way in the world you can connect one to another. It's messed up. I don't know why they're doing that way. I bought 4 boxes, and 4 boxes came back exactly the same way. So I'm just going to have to buy it from somebody else. I mean, I got enough to do this. That's it. But if you want to do something to wrap around your room, you're out of luck with this right here. Because at the end of this, you just have a piece that's snapped off. It's supposed to be another piece like this sticking on the side of here on this side, showing you it connects. There's nothing there. This is 3. I gotta find what company this is. I'm not buying from them again. If I'm doing something like a small job, this is perfect. But not something where I have to extend my screen. Let me plug this in to make sure this is all working. And I want the wires on this side. Oh no! I want it on this side because I got the cord on that side. So That's where I want them at. I like to plug mine in before I get it started so I know exactly that I have them hooked up the right way. Actually, one thing is we go back and check and see if you put the right wires where they're supposed to be at. Let me see. Am I in there? All right, there we go. Let me get some juice. It's my juice. Ugh. There we go. All right, we got it right this time. Oh, hopefully this not change anything in the room because I got all these LED lights in here. That's why. Let me see what happens. This doesn't change anything. Okay, it doesn't trigger off my lights in the room. Cool. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, because sometimes you can have LED lights. Like the chasers. Chasers are so easy to freaking trigger off the wrong way. That's what I like about when I had the chasers in the other room. That's why I just kept in solid blues. Because if you had the chasers in the room, you could click one remote control, they all change to different colors. That can be a headache after a while. All right, so let's get up here. Let's get this part done. So I can move on to something else. Let's try this drop. Mother cherry. Those are my curse words. I don't curse. That's how I curse. Mother cherry. I want to reattach. I should have taped that before I put that up there. I wasn't thinking. So I want this on the far back area of this. That's what I want on the far back area. And that stuff dries pretty fast anyway. So this one got fast. This one actually, you know, did I ever feel that fast? No. I remember. The screens didn't take much time. It was the freaking casing, the projector took time to do. That's what took time. So what I'm going to do with the box, I'm going to do something really cool. I'm going to put some LED lights in the box. I'm going to have the sides look like they're busted out, like this, like the container's cracked, and I'm going to have caution tape wrapped around it. Of course, the box is going to be custom, have a nice little paint job to it to make it look like, or I might just get some black steel contact paper, and then I can use a little bit of the corrosion to make it look like it's buckling out from the side. Anywhere where the corrosion is buckling out, you can just see LED lights pushing out from side to side. So we're going to do that in a cardboard box. Make our own projection stand to match our setup. I think I'm just going to use the whole thing. I'm going to double it up. That's what I'm going to do. I want this light to be really freaking bright green. All right, come on. Peel we off on the peel? Come on. I know for a fact the naysayers coming here to watch. Always curious of what I'm doing. What's he doing today? He's doing his own, painting his own motorized projection screens. Oh, that's stupid. I don't know if they say it or not. Some people feel like you should leave it the way it is. I had one guy comment on TikTok talking about, "Oh no, why would you do that to your Oni?" I'm trying to laugh on that. Why would you do that to your Oni projector? Yeah, man, you don't know me too well. I got a bunch of projectors. I'm good. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. I'm okay. I think I'm good. I think I got it. I'm okay. I got it. I think I'm good in that category. I'm good. I can use the whole thing. Use the whole thing. I can double up my lights to make them brighter. And this is already drying already. So I wonder if I get my painting overnight. I'll be back. I'm going to whatchamacallit, make an order. See if I can get my paint overnight shipped in. I had to go in and place an order because I'm out of the bronze paint. I need that to finish my case, so that won't be here until tomorrow, which is good. And the other one's going to be here today, so at least I get some of the work done. So we're just putting in our LED lights right now. So I'm adding in some LED lights. I got LED lights to put at the top and LED lights to put at the bottom. Now I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna put the ones at the bottom. I might just put an EL wire at the bottom. I think EL wire would be a little bit easier to put in. And EL wire is gonna last a little longer. It's still gonna have a cable attached to it. If I run it off EL wire, I can run it off a battery pack. And that way, I don't have to worry about having a cable running underneath of it, which I don't want. All right, so that's good right there. Nice and smooth, so I'll pat down. There we go. Not bad. Now let's knock the other way. I need a pair of scissors. And I need some tape. So I'm sitting there at the bottom. Like I said, I kind of work in these all day, so I already had to order new socks because my biggest habit with socks is, and I'm pretty sure everybody else does the same thing. You walk around the house with them all day and then go out in the driveway with them. Trim that off nicely. All right. All right, power cord. I need a power cord. I need an extension cord. I think I got one downstairs, but I need one for right. So I'm gonna plug this in right away so I can see exactly if I'm on the right side on this. I have to grab something from somewhere. Today is a wonderful day. Wonderful day when you wake up in the morning with Jesus. Yes. I love waking up in the morning with Jesus. What are we doing today, Lord? What do you want to do today? What do you want to build today? Summertime come. I got so many ideas in my head for things we're going to be designing for summer. What am I doing here? Okay, over here. Over here. All right, I need some of that where's the bio tape at? Caution bio tape. I need some of that. What I was going to do with the Gorilla Glue, but then I changed my mind. I was going to put some of that, this right here. If I can find one of them in here. I've got 2 rolls of them. See if we can track down one roll. One roll. Oh, man. Seriously? Got one roll in here? One roll's got to be in here somewhere. See if I can get it wrong. Yeah, I didn't get it wrong. So what I was going to do at first, and I wanted to make sure it was going to stay, I was going to take this and put my border in right there. That was what I first was thinking about doing, which I'm still thinking about doing it right now. I think I might put a strip across here right there of the safety tape right there. And then I was going to do is to spray it in over top of it with Gorilla Glue because that's going to lay nice and flat. And it's no pun toward the female who did that to herself, you know, nothing at all toward her. I just need it for work. And I want to see if it's going to lay because mine, this thing is going to be rolling up and down in my screen. And I have to make sure that we're not going to have any problems with this thing becoming untangled, pulling itself off the screen and getting balled at my screen and damaging my screen. So I have to make sure this stuff's going to work. So I can't use glue or anything else because glue is going to leave a layer on top of it. The spray is going to come up a lot better. But then again, kind of not too hyped about that because I don't like to keep beating the dead cow to death by saying this or dead horse to death. But if you have respiratory issues, there are things that you cannot breathe in your environment because they will mess you up. Like perfume, stuff like that. Yeah, stuff like that triggers us off really quick. So we have to be careful about certain things. So I'm not sure about that 100%. Anything that comes out of an aerosol can kind of freaks me out. So, you know, we'll see. You know what I need to do? I need to buy another one of these screens. We'll call that the test screen. And we'll just throw stuff on it and see what we can roll up in the screen. What will damage the screen and what won't damage the screen. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? It's a $68 screen, so it ain't like we're losing a ton of money. And this gives me some practice for when I start working on my screen. Because I told you I'm putting the screen eventually downstairs in the lounge because I want my window light to come into the house, blocking a lot of my window light. But I can't have that if I got a 126-inch screen standing in the window. So the only screen I'm going to put in there is going to be an Elite screen. I like their screens. Their motorized tension screens are beasts, man. I want one of those. And got to spend a little bread to get that one at 126 inches, which I need, but I'm not going to get 126 inches. Probably going to get 125 maybe, or maybe 120. That's going to cost me about $1,000 or so, maybe $1,500 just for that screen. So yeah, their tension screens are expensive, but they're worth it. So how I'm going to do that one, I don't know. I'm going to do that one. I'm going to design it pretty cool. I don't want the screen to be black. I know that for a fact. I do want to keep it at blue. I do like the blue. I'll figure it out. Well, no, I won't figure it out. I'll let the Lord figure it out. He'll tell me what to do because he has the best ideas. My ideas are like, not as good as his. All right, so let's get this taped up on this end. Before we tape this up, we need to see if we got some power. Power running through there. Power! The bio stickers are easy to get. You get them right on Amazon. You can get them, the official ones that they make at Biotex. You can go over there and get it from there. Or you can get somebody who basically make a decal for you, customized decals. That's however way you want to put it up. Okay. We have enough room with this. Like, literally, I'm thinking we don't have enough room with this. What do we have here? We got a cord there. I might need 2 cords for this. All I'm trying to do is just see which side of the lights power them on before I tape all this up. The last thing I'm going to do is tape this up and nothing works. You hear air raid horns going on in the background. It isn't what you think it is. First time I moved here, it freaked me out. Thinking, oh gee, this is great. Moving to a nice house, I'm about to have a nuclear holocaust. But it wasn't what I thought it was. Some kind of research unit around here, I think that's what it is. That's horns go off from time to time. Alright, so these. Well, that whole piece just came out all together. That's not good. Just go right on in there. Ooh, this is not a good place for you to be standing right now in the dizzy zone or what. Alright, so is that it or is that off? Nope, that's not it. We gotta go the other way. There we go. That's going to be right there for the time being. And we'll take some of this adhesive off. Side, stick you right there. There we go. Right on the side of this. That's all. Hooah! Got a bit of Area 51 going on over here, huh? Yeah, so I doubled up the lights, tilted them inward so they would ricochet off the side of the white wall. So this is what we're doing. When I did the whatchamacallit, I did the screen that I did, I had my PX747, I had a screen levitating. So we did was you just build the screen bigger than the actual screen because I wanted the border to be huge on that white screen. So I wanted the screen to push out. And like I said, when I paint the screen in, I put in a little bit of a little thin border around it so the screen can actually pop out from the original black screen. And then we put the huge border around it. Now, if you want to do that one levitates. Basically, you have to drill that into your ceiling. You want to make sure whatever color your ceilings are, you want to paint the screws to be the same color. You want to use heavy gauge fishing line because heavy gauge fishing line is going to be transparent. Light's going to travel through it. So it'll look really invisible. And then when you do the screen, you have to paint the back of it. Has to be done white. It's better if the walls are white because it reflects better. So if the walls are white, the back of the screen has to be white. When you put the LED lights behind it, those LED lights are going to hit the white wall. It's going to ricochet the white wall, hit the back of the screen. It's going to disperse out. And it's going to give you a levitating look to the screen. That's one of the ones I actually built. And when I saw that one, I was like, man, I forgot about that screen. I want another one, but I don't have any room for any more fixed frames, so I did a motorized instead. So that's what's going on downstairs. So once we get the painter's tape, and for that, we can tape that off, paint that in, we're done. That's easy. The hard part is painting the border. That's the hard part. So this black part right here, I'm not worrying about it because the screen's going to be rolled up, so you're just going to see the yellow border. That's not even going to be there. I just had to extend it out to paint it, that's all. But you're not going to see that. All right, so we're done with all that. All we got to do now is just go in and just, let's see, if I can pull my tape off the back because I don't need that now. So I'm not going to paint all the way back there. I got to order the paint that's going to be here. And then, can I start on my bottom area? I should be able to start on my bottom area. Nah, because I got to paint that. No. I still got to cover that regardless. Yeah, I gotta cover that regardless. I forgot about that. That has to be covered regardless. Anyway. No. I can't. I gotta get a Q-tip. So right down in here, I got these little pockets. And see the little pockets? They're not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be smooth all the way across. I'm gonna have to take a Q-tip and I'm gonna have to go right into those little areas to get that area just right. And then I can peel that tape off. Right now I have to get right the way. I'm not worrying about the screen, like I said, it's gonna be painted a different color. But what I was explaining to you about the lights, see right here, when you get to the far end, there's supposed to be a little connector there so you can connect it to another set of lights. When you find out when you pull it off, you don't have anything there. So be careful what you buy. But these are good if you're just going to do a short run. You're not going to be running just a short run. That's all you need. You're good. I think I'm going to do I'm going to LED light my chair too. I'm going to definitely LED light the bottom of my chair. So I'm going to LED light the bottom of my chair. I'm going to do that too. So right now, let me get some Q-tips. And let's get into those little corner areas so we can get all that detailed and done real nice. Or I can just do the bar with the tape. Yeah, I'm gonna do the bar with the tape. I'm doing the whole bar with the caution tape. That's what I'm gonna do. That would work nicely. All right, so let me get some Q-tips. Get some Q-tips. Yeah. And get a whole bar and caution tape. That would look really nice. All right, so some paint. My paint box. We're going to take our Q-tips. We're going to get to all our little crack areas right here. Little crack areas that we couldn't get into, that the roller couldn't reach. Yeah, so I'm not worried about it having a texture to it because the border itself right here, it's going to have a bit of a rust paint to job to it. So I don't mind if it has a little texture to it at all. Yeah, I kind of do. It's got to roll up in the screen too. I forgot about that. So let me get this part right here. This will dry. Paint this in better. There we go. So I'm just going over it with a dry Q-tip. Smooth it out a little better. So when I see people doing crazy stuff on YouTube, like finding out weird ways how to do things better, I watch those channels. You never know. You know, I used to watch those hack shows where they teach you how to hack things, make things faster, better. And some guy took a pair of scissors and stuck them into a I'm pretty sure you saw that one. Took a pair of scissors and stuck them into a power drill. And used it to mix his paint with. I was like, ooh, that's a good idea. I think we use coat hangers and everything else to do it. So I kind of watch all that stuff. I like that kind of stuff. Especially when everybody was in, some people are still in quarantine, but, you know, I don't know where you would want to go to take, honestly, I mean, but work. Where would you want to really go to tell you the truth? You really want to take that risk, but that some people just, you know, bored of being in the house. I can understand that. trapped in the house and all. Tell people you're never alone. I know people don't want to hear this, but I'm going to say it anyway. You're never alone if you have Jesus. Nope. It's serious. Never alone if you have Jesus. I don't want to talk about that. A guy I'm actually, two people I'm proud about, because I've seen on YouTube quite often. I used to watch your channels. One was a guy named Stonefox Media. And this man cursed all the time. I mean, he constantly cursed all the time. He used to do reviews on games and stuff. He'd come out there. I think I mentioned this guy. He came out there with a some liquor or whatever it was in a cup. And he just go into his rant on his games, and he was basically, some people give good reviews too, but he would go into his rants and he would drink his liquor at the same time. And then he just disappeared. I don't know what happened to him. Then I went to go look him up. Found out this guy became a Christian. And he was just talking about some things, like, he talked about some game reviews, but most of it was like, he was talking about renovating his home, his bathroom, his projects. He just wanted to share that, his projects. And the people just, some people just didn't want to be bothered with it. They just don't want to hear it. They wanted him to go back to being the person who was cursing and carrying on camera. And he's not that person. Oh, he found Jesus. People say that's a bad thing because you find Jesus. But these are the same individuals that will be on an airplane and your wing just happened to pop off, God forbid, or have some engine trouble, and you're plummeted to the earth. Now you want to go find Jesus. Now you're praying. Now you're asking all kinds of favors and asking him to notice you when you didn't notice him. Boy, that's interesting. Even an atheist, my father used to always say, there's no such thing as an atheist in a foxhole. And those of you don't know what foxhole is, the ground, you would dig a hole in the ground and the soldiers would get in there and you would have all kinds of stuff coming at you. Bombs and bullets be whizzing by you. And that ain't the time to basically not believe in God when you're in there, because there was a good chance we might not have gotten out of that foxhole. That might have been your grave right there. So that's a saying he used to say. But I find it interesting how people just have no time for God whatsoever. But when that time comes, unfortunately, now you're praying. Now you're asking him to save you out of that situation, because deep down inside, when you got nobody there for you, you know that's the only one that can get you out of that situation. You're lucky he's a merciful God. Think about it. Just think about it for a minute. You're a super being. You have been here before the beginning of man. You developed all the things that are on the earth. You know all, you see all. And every day when you get up, well, I guess he probably doesn't even sleep, to tell you the truth, he's God. You see the destruction of man every single day. Imagine having the ability to see every freaking horror show on the earth in one hit. All the murders, all the deaths, all the kills, homicides, you can see all of it in one hit. You can see the good too, but you can see all the horror too. You have the ability to be able to end it. Just think about it. The fact that you can get up the next day and everything is still here. No matter how bad things may be, you're still here the next day. But just with a blink of an eye, he could wipe you as if you never existed at all. Because he's tired of you. That's the same equivalence when you have a kid and your kid defies everything you tell him to do. You tell him not to do this, he does that. He does this, he does that. He doesn't listen to you, he doesn't obey so and so and so. And even though your best interest is just to make sure that you can take care of him the best way you possibly can, and to lead him on to manhood or womanhood or whatever you need to do to get him to that next stage, he defies you at every single step that you try. There you go. That's what we do to God. That's what we do to him. And instead of him sitting there saying, you know what? I'm tired of you people. Why in the world would I have a people like you that don't serve me, don't believe in me, this, that, and the other, disrespects me? I can just make a race of people that will basically serve me and respect me. But he didn't. He even gave you a choice. Gave you a decision. He could have made it so like the animals. The animals don't really have much of a decision. That's it. You have a conscience. You have a decision of right and wrong. Animals is just instinct. It's what they do. But you have a decision of right and wrong. He gave you the ability to be able to choose. He didn't have to do that. He just made you a servant and that's it. And you would have obeyed him no matter what. But he gave you a decision. The reason why you're given that decision is because when the time comes when you have to see his face, you can't say he didn't give you a choice, because he did give you a choice. You just didn't choose to take it. Now, the reason why I feel sorry for people that are filthy rich and have all this money, I don't care how what you drive and what you have. I really don't. And the reason why I don't, because some of y'all, I feel really sorry for you. And the reason why is because there's a story in the Bible where it talks about Jesus when he was talking to a very rich man, had a lot of possessions, very, very rich. And the rich man came up to him when Jesus was in the town. He was talking to the people and he was telling Jesus how he follows the Sabbath and he basically reads his Bible, does everything. Like he does everything to honor the Lord. Jesus looked at him and said, give up all you have, pick up your cross and follow me. And the guy went away really sad, very, very sad, because he had great wealth and great possessions and he didn't want to give it up. So Jesus sat there and said, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven, because he is tied down by his wealth. Interesting. Yep. Your money and possessions, not saying you got to give them up and all. It's just you don't put them before God. You just don't. You know? Put God first. That's why I feel sorry for these preachers who have these mega churches and they're in there getting rich, getting donations, and then their time comes. No matter what you do on the earth, you got to answer for it. Everybody's got to answer for it. You could think people get away with murder. No, they don't. You got to answer for it. There's a place you have to go at the end of the day when your time is up. You got to answer for it. And it comes down to two things. Whether you spend eternity with heaven and with the Lord, or you spend in purgatory forever in hell. One or the other. There's no in between. No in between. So everybody has to answer for what they do. Even me. Now, beautiful thing about being saved is the fact that Jesus came down, hung on the cross, became the final sacrifice for mankind. So that way the devil wouldn't win. Because at first people would just go straight to hell. Again, people don't realize that Jews were basically God's chosen people. And it's in the Bible. I'm sorry, but it's in there. A lot of people can't accept the Bible and they can't, but you have to accept it. You have to accept it because you didn't write it and you didn't make it to begin with, and you don't have the divine power to make things grow, which means as in you can make something like a baby or something, but you can't actually literally make a human being. For those DNA cloning, that's not the same thing. Bringing something into this world without a soul. I'm going to mess around with that. But anyway, I think that here or there. But the bottom line is I love how people want to get mad about the Bible and they want to change it the way they think it should be. That's interesting. This is coming from a person that when it's time for you to go, you can't bring yourself back to life. How much power you got now? So anyway, it's like, you're given that choice. But like I said, at the end of the day, like I said, you had to go, you read Old Testament, and Old Testament explains how a man had to have his sins cleansed. It was something else. You had to go and you had to buy a sheep without blemish. You had to be some animal without blemish, and you had to bring it up before the altar. It had to be burned. If the smoke went up white, then you were forgiven. If it didn't, you wasn't. So, it got to a point that these certain people in the church were basically taking advantage of this opportunity, and they were basically making money off of this. They were saying, well, this is a special sacrificial lamb. It costs, the reason why it costs so much money because it gives you easy forgiveness. So you're trying to tell me that a man that's in the street and he's poor over a man who's rich, the man who's rich gets easier forgiveness because he's rich. It don't work that way. God looks at man all the same way. Whether you're rich or poor, what color or race you are, he looks at you all the same way. All is guilty of sin. That's the end of the day. Doesn't make a difference how much money you got. You ain't buying your way into heaven. That's not going to happen. How are you going to buy your way into heaven when God is the one who actually made money and the creation of money to begin with? You can't buy somebody who already has everything. So anyway, yeah, so they took advantage of it. They took advantage of it. And they were just basically just doing things that they weren't supposed to be doing. It was wrong. So bottom line is God just made one final sacrifice. He sacrificed his son. The son came down. He basically hung on the cross, and he was the final sacrifice. And even though, keep in mind, the devil knew about this the entire time. People don't realize if you read in the Bible, it talks about how, I'm not going to go into that part right there, but there's parts in the Bible, it does talk about the three wise men, and basically they were seekers to find where the child of Christ was going to be. And they were met by an angel. An angel told them to go back into their own lands. But there was somebody that was set, was a king that was there, that was basically, the devil was basically working through him to get rid of the child of God, kill him before he basically started the prophecy. And that's all right there in the Bible. It talks about that. So the devil wanted rid of him because the devil knew if Jesus did what he was supposed to do, man would have a way to heaven and he would be saved, and the devil wouldn't be able to just take that part. Like I said, only the Jews were God's chosen people. Anybody else outside the Jews were going straight to hell. That was just basically about it. And Jesus is the one that opened up the doorway so all can be saved. So yeah, there's some stuff going on, man. There was stuff going on. They're just trying to get rid of him. So basically, he couldn't get saved. So if the devil did basically do what he was supposed to do, no matter what you did, you could go to church all day long. At the end of the day, you were going to hell. That was it. Bottom line, bar none, that's where you were going. That's why. So he came here, hung himself on the cross, went through all the torment. And even the devil, like I said, when he went through the 40 days and 40 nights of fasting, the devil tried to basically tempt him. How you going to tell Jesus he's going to go to the top of a mountain and say, look, all you can see is yours? It already belongs to him to begin with. That's why I call the devil, he's a complete idiot. You're going to try to give somebody something that's already theirs. So how dumb can you be? But the devil is so full of trickery, and he doesn't even know how dumb he is. Some of the dumb stuff he does. But anyway, try to do all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? They try to get Jesus. And even at that, even the Pharisees were jealous of Jesus because Jesus was very young. He was a very young man. His doctrine was great. Like, his knowledge was insane. And they were upset by that. That the fact that, it made them look like fools. And they're all talking among themselves, like, where did he get his teaching from? Where did he get his learning from? Who taught him all this? Like, he's only like 30 years old. Like, how does he know all this? He knows more than they know. So they tried to do things to trip him up, to make him look bad in front of the people. Just like when they brought the prostitute in and they laid her down, they were expecting for Jesus to prosecute the prostitute. And they said, hey, this woman sinned. She was about the night. She basically does this, she does that. How are you going to handle this? And Jesus looked at her and looked at them and said, well, now mind you, back in the day, they stoned you to death. Literally was put you in a pit and stoned you to death. And he said, well, ye without sin cast the first stone. None of them could cast the first stone because all of them were guilty of sin too. So he said, woman, sin no more. And she left. See, they could understand that. So now they can't, the people follow him. The people love him. And they can't run their little scams and make their little money the way they were making it. And they're losing money on this. And on their little business, little profit business that we're making, cheating God. And they got upset and they figured, well, if we can't make him look bad and we can't do this and we can't do that, then let's kill him. There you go. But all that had to happen anyway because he had to be sacrificed. Yeah. Read your Bibles, people. Read your Bibles. It's a wonderful, wonderful book. I had a friend of mine. I was like, well, read the Bible. She was like, it takes too long. It's a long book. It takes too long. Well, that's interesting. Because, something bad happens to you. You want God to activate right away. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. You're like, oh, so it's that easy. No, it's not easy because, like I said, coming from my world where I grew up, I did some pretty bad stuff in my lifetime. Didn't kill anybody, but I did some bad stuff in my lifetime. And I took the long way. I did. And I'm glad that I listened. I had people come up to me when I talk about the Lord. Like, I don't want to talk about the Lord. So you can brainwash me so I can have somebody control my life. I can't do what I want to do. No, I don't want that nonsense. Get that out of my face. I was that kind of person. Couldn't come up to me and talk about God. Oh, heck no. Oh, no. That's a good way for me to lose my temper on you. No. I walked into a church and threatened the preacher's life one time. I got so ticked off. Yeah, I was that kind of person. That kind of person. Didn't fear God, didn't fear the devil, didn't fear anybody. Kind of person. Oh, I'm thankful that he changed me. But yeah, got into an argument with a preacher. Preacher came to the house one time from a mom. And I don't know what happened. I forgot what happened in that little incident. But anyway, long story short, I walked in the church. And I was definitely carrying when I walked into that church. And I couldn't do it. Like, for some reason, I don't know what it was, I backed out. I walked out of it. Because I was that man being protected by the Lord, and the devil was working through me at that time. Couldn't do it. I walked right out of that church. Got as far away from that church as possible. I didn't want to be in that building. Got out of there. Didn't want to be in there. For some reason, something was telling me to get out of there, get out of there, get out of there. And I got out of that building. I'm glad I did. Anyway, so, you know, I didn't want to hear it. My mother's a Christian woman. She used to play Christian music 24/7 in the house. Drove me freaking crazy. I don't. Why? Why do you want to listen to this stuff all day long? Good gracious. Really? You're always talking about God. We're going to turn around. God, this God. God ain't involved in everything. Yeah, that was that person. I'm glad he did what he did, because if he didn't, I'd be dead. Definitely would be dead. The path I was traveling, somebody would have killed me a long time ago. And I decided to get my act together. Well, I got my act together when I got locked up. When I got locked up, I had a choice. I ain't had much of a choice. I was locked up. And it wasn't like something I was getting out anytime soon. I was going to be in there for a long time. I was looking at some real serious time. I was 18. I was looking at some real serious time. Like I said, I didn't kill anybody. I just did something real stupid. That's all. I'm not going to tell you what I did. But anyway, you know, that's how I found God. I was in there. I never forgot. I was sitting down on the bench. I went to court on my 18th birthday for certification. They didn't certify me. They couldn't certify me. I prayed. Lord told me I wasn't going to be certified. He told me I was going to be released. I did my time, and then I walked. And when the first day I got out, I got baptized. Became a full-blooded Christian. So happy to be baptized. But yeah, I remember that. I remember I was sitting in the jail cell one time. I was waiting to be going to court. It was on my 18th birthday. And I had my mom gave me a Bible. I've been reading Psalms out of the Bible. I didn't read the whole Bible. I was just reading Psalms. Things that would comfort me to get me through what I was going through. And this guy in the next jail cell was staring at me. He was like, "That's not going to do you any good. You might just put that down. That's not going to do you any good at all." And I knew what it was. I know it was the devil talking to me from across, telling me to put the Bible down. I'm not going to do any good. But I kept reading the Bible. I turned the other way. He went about his business. That was it. That's how I found my love for God. I got out. I didn't want anything to do with the outside world. I didn't want anything to do with the music or the people. Anyone that wasn't serving God, I just didn't want to be bothered with it. You know, if people weren't doing the right things, I just were out there running the streets. I didn't want to be bothered with it. I didn't have no desire for it. All I want to do is just be close to God. Christians slip. We make mistakes. We do. That's why we have our Lord and Savior that can forgive us. That's why I tell people that even naysayers and people that hate me, I don't hate you at the end of the day. I forgive you for the things that you do. It's sad, but I do forgive you for the things that you do. Now, like I said, I still have to go forward and do what I have to do to protect myself. God teaches us Christians they have to protect themselves. And I have to go to the things I got set up. They're going to be done this summer. Have to be taken care of, have to be done. Unfortunately, they do. But I still have to forgive those who do wrong against me, because the only way I can get forgiveness from God is I have to forgive others. So that's the only way. Can't hate your brother or hate your sister and ask forgiveness from God. It don't work that way. Have to forgive. Getting the tape off. Get up in the morning. I love talking about my Lord in the morning. I love it. See things differently. You do. Like when I see my squirrels in the backyard all running around, jumping around, playing and all that, I think, man, God made the squirrel, made everything. You look at all the things that God created and designed. It's amazing. Like right now, you couldn't even count how many grains of sand are on the beach. But God knows. He knows how many hairs are on the top of your hands, how many wrinkles are in your fingers. He knows all that stuff, everything. He knows what you're going to do before you even do it. Yep. I told you. I can do no videos for an entire month, and my table will still be blessed. Always. Always makes a way for me to have what I need. Sometimes I'll give you something that you shouldn't have to show that you never needed it to begin with. Like a giant projector. It took a lot of power. Didn't need that thing to begin with. But I wanted it, and the Lord allowed me to get it. Find out I didn't need 7. Tape. The person who invented frog tape, I love you. I love you so much. And frog tape is freaking amazing. I don't like the blue tape. I've used the blue tape. I like the frog tape. I love frog tape. This piece of tape doesn't want to come up. I'm going to come around the other way and do it this way. Hopefully we get that one piece out of there. Sorry about that. You can't see this. I'm kind of going along the edges of this. What I'm doing right now to give you a little mental thought on what I'm doing here. Yeah, came right up. Thank you. Came right up. And people are like, why are you always covered in paint? Well, this is the reason why. I'm constantly working around paint all the time. I've gotten so used to being in paint all the time. I don't know what it's like though. If I don't have paint on, I feel like I need to have paint on me. I love to work with paint. All right, so what I decided to do is going to use this, and we're going to do my right here. We're going to cover this up with something nice. My tape is which one was already dried up top, so that's good. Where's my scissors at? I need scissors for this. I'm not going to rip this off. It's strands all over the place. That's where we're at right there. We're at the border right there. I don't know why my focus is not coming in correctly. There we go. Ouch. I'm on my knees. I don't want to sit in my gaming chair because I don't know if I had anything on me. I wrecked the chair that way. I had a brand new chair. Came upstairs covered in paint. Jumped on the chair. I figured everything was dry on me because I got to have a wipe and stuff on me all the time. And I figured I was dry. I get up and I find this like paint all inside my chair. Like, oh, gee whiz. Yeah. I don't want to wreck this chair. I like this chair. This chair is best. Out of all the chairs I have, I got 2 of these massagers. I got one in the other room. I got a big boy in there. This one is the best massager I ever got. Man, right in the middle of my back, man. Every time I basically go in this chair, I fall right to sleep. And I got it for $100, but you can get them right now. I don't know if the sale's still on, but I got mine for $100. But they're usually like $140. Man, most comfortable chair. I'm 5'11", so, you know, my legs don't come off the side of it. But, you know, could have been a little bit. But other than that, it's still good. I like it. I'm not going to complain. All right, so I'm just going to tape off I got to do my edges right there. Of course, I got to do the whole frame. So I'm going to put this to the side right now. We'll do a little bit at a time because I don't want to stretch it all the way over and get this wrong. Our friend is going to get that new Resident Evil. I think it's like, what's it called? Something City or something. Last time I played Resident Evil, and I lied to nothing, and it's pretty bad when I say, oh, no, I forgot. I did 4. I did Resident Evil 4. I beat that, and I did that co-op with a friend online. But I did have the Resident Evil when it first came out in the PS1. It was good. It was scary, you know. At the time, it was a spooky game, but man, that whole moving and oh god, that drove me crazy. But I still liked it. But after that, I think the last one I played was 4 or 3. One of them. I think that's one of them I played. I can't remember which one it was. Let's see. Pretty nice, right? That's pretty good. Oops, I was about to fall over. This is where you want to come in with your fingernail or a toothpick like this and just run your finger right down that line like that. So it fits in there quite nicely. Quite nicely. Looks like nice. Pretty cool, eh? Yeah. God, teaches you something new every day. Now, for those of you who are looking at the screen, like, but you got paint on the screen, Ken? There's paint on the screen. You messed up your screen. No, 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 we didn't mess it up. This is the new gamer paint right here. That's going to go on that screen right there. Just going to have herself a nice little different border. And then we're going to put that in the middle. We got our LED lights and all that. I'm going to corrode that out real nice. And then I'm going to take this box right here. God already gave me the ideas for this. It's going to be beautiful. So we're going to turn this box into something crazy. Just create a cardboard box. We're going to turn it into something crazy. So I want the box to look like a bio container, like a box, like a shipping box, something crazy in it. So I'm going to make a nice little platform that it can sit on top of. Have a little bio goo spilling out from the side of the platform, because the platform is going to be covered in this silicone bio goo spilling out from the side of the piece. I'm going to crack it here and crack it here. Now, to make sure that the projector doesn't fall off, I'm going to put a peg that goes from here to here, so I can buckle this out a little bit so that it doesn't weaken the box, and it's supported by the peg that's in here, connected to here, so I can split that open. And then we'll put a little, this is not going to be here, the marble's not going to be here. I'm going to go pick up some top paper, maybe some black steel looking top paper, something like a black steel. And then I'm going to put some of that silicone, not silicone, more like the caulking around the edges of it, like it's corroded, it's busted on the side. And then we'll just basically have a few wires sticking out or something like that. And then we'll have it, oh man, so I got the ideas are just flowing through my head. And then we're just going to probably put some LED lights all in here. So this box just glows. It's like a cracked container with liquid bio goo spilling out. Have the warning labels here and here, do not open, radiation, stuff like that. That's what we're going to do this right here. I'm going to turn this box into something really cool, our projector stand. So I can start working on that today too. Anytime you hear me talking, these ideas are flowing through my head like that, that's my Lord telling me, like, we're going to do this, that's what we're going to do. This is how we're going to hook it up. That's how we're going to do it. Usually Saturdays, I'm downstairs watching cartoons right now, but I'm having fun doing this. We need to... Where's my scissors? Never around when I need them. Tuck over there quite nicely. There we go. Now right now I have, for this setup over here, I have my Dreamcast, GameCube, original Xbox hooked up to this one right here. But I'm going to actually get me another gaming PC, a small form factor gaming PC, maybe a cube. I'll build that one myself because I needed to match the theme. So I can't actually go out and buy the computer. That's not going to work. I actually have to build the computer for this one. But I'm going to make a little small cube computer, like a little small micro cube computer. It's going to be freaking cool. And I'm going to have a UFL window in the side of it so you can see all the components displayed. And I'm going to basically take that little casing and I'm going to seal the inside so I can turn that into a small little vegetable cool PC. That's what I'm going to turn that into. Something small that I can mount to a wall. Put all my parts in there. The hard drives actually are going to be external, so I'm going to have one hard drive for the inside, but oh man, rats. But that hard drive actually, you extend that with the SATA cables and that goes, it connects to the top of it. You don't put hard drives in vegetable oil. I don't know why. I had somebody actually try that. It does not go well. The only thing that should be out of your case is your radiator system for liquid cooling, which we're not going to need it for that. It's not going to burn that much power. And we need the hard drive and optical drive should not be in vegetable oil at all. Can't be what I think it is it? Oh, we got sleet today. We're getting sleet. I can hear it. Okay, where's the tape? I got a little bit more to go and we're done. I got 2 sets of scissors in here. I'm losing stuff. Where the frick are the whatchamacallit? I just had it a few minutes ago in my hand. Like, this is literally how I lose stuff really, really fast. And small environment here, and I'm losing stuff already. Well, this box is going to go downstairs because we need to do the work downstairs on this box. So that's going to be done downstairs. I'm going to go order the stuff for that, which should be a real fast job. Order stuff. You know, if you order stuff in at around 3 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning, your stuff comes in next day, literally, from Amazon. What did I just do with the tape? Literally, I just literally lost a roll of tape in here somewhere. Oh, here it is, by the chair. Ta-da! Yeah, I love those documentaries. This is a documentary about this guy, I think 1950s or about 1950s. No, maybe 1950s. It could be, I'm not sure. But anyway, it's a long documentary on Channel 12. And this guy has one of his voices that you put. You ever seen Ferris Bueller, where the guy goes, Bueller. He's the same thing over and over. Everybody's in class slobbering. He kind of talks like that. But he's really interesting. This guy went out in the woods and literally just built his entire log cabin, everything. He just did it all by hand. All real serious craftsmanship without any power tools whatsoever. And for some people, like when I was in there watching the documentary, everyone was like, how can you watch that without falling asleep? I said, no, it's fascinating. It's like really freaking fascinating. So I love that stuff like that. Like you could look at the documentary on Kellogg's cornflakes. You want to look at something? Some of these cereals and some of these companies, I like to watch how they first got started. how they came up with the ideas that come multi-billion-dollar corporations from just one person coming with some strange idea. And you got to look at the documentary on Kellogg's cornflakes. I looked it up. That was fascinating. And you know, cornflakes was made by mistake. It wasn't intentionally made. It was made by mistake. He was the guy, Kellogg's, I think that's his name, was a huge guru in fitness. People taking care of the body. He had all these, back in the 20s, he had a lot of these gyms, like little resorts where people can go to and they can exercise and lose weight and stuff like that. And he had restrictions where they couldn't have meat and they couldn't drink and couldn't smoke or none of that stuff like that. And he was just trying to figure out different ways on trying to make healthier meals for people to eat. And actually cornflakes ended up it was a mistake. I was like, oh, didn't even know that. Yeah, mistake. That man millions of dollars. Actual mistake. Never meant to be. He was just trying to figure out a way how to make healthier snacks because the food that they were serving at this place, the food was disgusting and the people just didn't like it. And he was just trying to figure out how to make a nutritious meal that, you know, would keep his people that were there happy. And eventually he was making something and it turned out to be something. It turned out to be a mistake and it made him billions of dollars. I think they're worth billions. Yeah, probably worth billions. You got to think of some of the weird stuff you have around your house that's been around forever. Like, you ever look up the history on toilet paper? Yeah, that's you would appreciate. Matter of fact, look up the history on bathrooms. You will appreciate your bathroom after you see what they went through in the 18th and 15th centuries on a bathroom. Yeah. You go in there. I hate to say it, but you probably might end up kissing your toilet seat. If you've seen exactly, you were born in that particular era where toilets actually didn't exist. I looked up like on glass, just interesting stuff that you would just have around your house. Like, how were kitchens developed in the 1400s? How were they made? How did they cook? How did they make food? Stuff like that. You'd be surprised. Like the technology we have now, like people go to the kitchen now, they have no idea how good they have it. Until you watch one of those documentaries, good gracious, this is what these people went through to cook food? Yeah. The refrigerator. I looked at the documentary on how the refrigerator was developed, who made it, how did they keep food cold back in those particular centuries. It was crazy. Yep, a lot of people died from E. coli and salmonella. Yep, food poisoning. No way to refrigerate your food. Well, they figured out different ways to do it, but you know, it was just interesting. Just watching those documentaries. But yeah, look up the documentary on the toilets, the bathrooms. Yeah, you would appreciate if you really figured out how these people had to go to the bathrooms. Oh my goodness, especially in the Roman era, it was nasty. It was so it was so nasty. It was so nasty. Oh my goodness. I mean, they had no choice, but they had to do it. I mean, it was nasty. It was very, very nasty. Especially, and I hate to say it, because we all went through the same thing. Even in the U.S., you know, you had outhouses and stuff like that, you know. That was what you had to do. But just certain eras for how people lived and how they had to survive, especially over in France. I watched the documentary on France plumbing system. And usually these people would crap in pots. And they would throw them out the window. Like, he would defecate in the pot and pee in it, and they would throw it out the window. And anybody from France will sit there and get mad at me over that. Well, look that up, because it's right there in history. It talks about that. I looked at different places and different areas. That's not just different, just not them, but on how people dealt with plumbing and dealing with their waste. I know it's a weird thing to look up. It's out of curiosity. You know, the bathroom, you're like, wonder where toilets all came from. Who started all this? So the ideas that come through my head. And you had outhouses. And think about it, some of these outhouses here in the U.S., were never changed out, were never cleaned. You come off the road and you're basically out on the range, and you got to go to the bathroom. You find this odd outhouse in the middle of nowhere, or pretty much you probably just went wherever you could. You know what I mean? But when I read about over when they had the kings and queens and stuff like that, they had bathrooms, but it was rare. Imagine you got a kingdom where you have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of servants, and cooks and guards and everything. And then consider the fact that within the king's gate, because you're within the king's walls, you had people that were living within the walls. I guess outside the walls, you know, I mean, pretty much didn't matter. So think about it. The guy was like, people were defecating everywhere. I mean, everywhere. So keep in mind, you look at these great castles and stuff, and you look how beautiful they are. But you got to look at the downside that if people were, there were not really many bathrooms and people were just going anywhere, those places had to smell horrible, absolutely horrible. So people don't look at that side. I like to watch the history that they teach you in school. It only gets a certain degree. You can actually get real history, like really see dark history, where they basically show you about all the crazy stuff that went on in history. That's the kind of stuff I like to research, you know. And when you think about it, it's true, because at that particular time, how many people had bathrooms? At that, running water. No one had running water. You had to go to a well to get water. I like how they architecture on how I like to watch how people built houses between now, how they build a house, and how houses were built in those particular centuries, and how they were designed and how they were constructed and how they would move stone and limestone to build these castles and stuff. I like to watch all that stuff. So it's pretty interesting to watch. But if you look at some of these documentaries and you look at what you have now, you would appreciate that you could open up a refrigerator and get something out of it that's literally cold compared to what they were going through at that particular era where they couldn't do that. A lot of things were buried in dark cellars because actually under the earth things would be a lot cooler. But then again, you're dealing with a dark area, you're dealing with a damp area that basically could spring out salmonella, E. coli, a lot of mold, and a lot of people died from that. So yeah, it's pretty interesting to watch. But the whole bathroom thing, oh my goodness. I was on my phone. My sister's a history buff, and I was like, my goodness, I just watched a documentary on bathrooms. It was the most, it was my eye-opening experience I've ever had in my life. Like I love my toilet so much when I figured exactly, like the Romans would have these, they would have these troughs, right? And they would have, you would, mind you, you're going, it's not like a public bathroom where you actually have a divider between yourself. You were literally sitting next to somebody as if you were sitting in a movie theater. You were sitting that close to the person, and everybody would be defecating or going to the bathroom in that little area. And then there would be like a little stream of water that would come down, and you would take your little cup and you would splash it there. There you go. But you were sitting literally right next to the person. So imagine, you know, you had a movie theater and that being a bathroom. Just imagine that. Yep. I was like, wow. Yeah. So it's an interesting documentary to watch. It gives you to appreciate stuff. One of the things I like to watch stuff from the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s, in that era, where people were all excited about the year 2020 or the year 2000. It was going to be the future. We were going to have flying cars, and we were going to be the, teleport here and there. And that's pretty much how they thought. You know, you went to the World Fair. The World Fair talked about a lot of crazy stuff, what things we're supposed to have. Some of that stuff was on point. A lot of that stuff was on point. It wasn't too far off. It was on point. Like my mother, remember, she was telling me about when she was a little girl. And mind you, my mom was like 89 years old. See, she was going way back. My mother lived in the era where TVs didn't exist. It was radio only. You had an RCA radio with the tubes in the back. It paid a little flash Gordon on there. She would go get her Archie comic books, get an apple, sit down, and she would listen to the radio. There was no such thing as TVs. She didn't even have electricity in her home. They had oil burning lamps. So that's how far my mother goes back. And she said, what were we talking about there? I forgot. I was talking about that quick. Wow. It happens. It'll come to me later on. I'm trying to think about how far back something it was. I don't know. I can't remember what it was. No, that's the price of getting old. That's what happens. When I tell people, it must be nice to go into a room and remember what you came in there to get, because, yeah, that bites for us. I don't know. It'll come back. It was something about the Archie comic books and whatever it was, but, oh well. Let me get back to work. It happens. It happens to everybody. We all do it. You young people forget your stuff left and right. There we go. It'll come to me. I'll be sitting there having a bowl of cereal. Oh, yeah! That's what I wanted to tell them. And it's gone. It's gone. Sleep that one like the other. It'll come to me. It was a good one, too, but something I want to talk about. It's really good. I can't remember what it was now. I'm going back to my mother and her Archie comic books, and her TVs and stuff like that. Of course, it had something to do with TV, didn't it? Whatever. It's going. It's in there somewhere. It's in there somewhere. Let me go cap these off. Gotta cap these off. All right, so I got to cap off these ends. They look a little better. Well, that's not going to work. I had to go this way. It's not going to work either. It's going to go against the lines, and that's not going to work. Let's go with lines. Okay. Okie doke. All right. Kept it off on nice. Next side. Got this right here. Archie comic books. Man, if she had kept those comic books. Oh, now I know what I was saying. Ah, man. Yeah, it popped in. Woo. Freaking out there for a minute. Anyway, so yeah, the World's Fair. So my mom was going to school. They were talking about the future, the year 2000. And they were talking about a box that you would stick stuff in and it would cook things instantly. That is called the microwave, what we have now. So some of the stuff they talked about wasn't too far off that we have now. Like if you look at the World's Fair, if you look at some of the stuff that kids talked about, you know, what the future was, year 2000, they did believe we were going to have, you know, look at the Jetsons. Look at the Jetsons. They pretty much thought that was going to be the futuristic world. I tell you, only one thing I would really like to see from we would have here now. That device that they have in Star Trek, the ones that they have, which is Star Trek. It's the early version of Star Trek. They got that unit where you can put something in and just type it in, and it makes that food automatically. That would be freaking cool. That would be awesome to have in your home. You would just have this unit. I guess I don't know how they would do it. I'm gonna look that up because I never really. You dawn on that a little bit here and there, but you don't really look at it all that much. But yeah, that device they would have. I don't know the name of it, but you would basically punch in what you want, and this machine would make anything at any given time. Like, come on, you're in outer space, so think about all the delicacies of aliens that have different foods and stuff like that, and the thing could make anything. Replicator? Was it a replicator? I think it was a replicator, something like that. But yeah, that would be interesting to have one of those. I don't know about teleportation. I don't think I'm going to do that. Because if you understand how teleportation works, pretty much it just breaks up your atoms. So basically it just breaks all your atoms up and it just transfers you from one section to the next. And then put your atoms all back together. Which means somewhere along the line there are going to be mistakes made and things are going to be put in places where they're not supposed to be. But that's all it does, just breaks your atoms up. The same thing like if you're using a disintegration gun, does the same thing. It just sends out a sonic sound that basically just separates the what do you call the atoms. So the tighter the atoms together, the more dense and more harder their structure becomes, and actually the looser the atoms are, the more loosen the atoms. You know how it all works. So I guess sound waves would be basically just sound traveling to be able to separate and weaken those atoms, allow the structure to just basically just crumble. That's basically about it. That's all that really is. To tell you the truth, at the end of the day. But yeah, that's what it's doing. Just breaking your atoms up and just putting you back together someplace else. But you know, there's going to be mistakes. There's always mistakes. Even in new technology, they got all the bugs out. There's still mistakes that pop up. Oh man, Sony. Oh, Sony Xbox. Oh boy, I'm not worried anyway. I've already put my down payment on my gaming PC, so it's on its way. It's being built. I'm good. I got my Oculars in there next room. I'm going to be playing that online. I'm not going to console with a 10-foot pole. Not for a while. These next gen new systems, not even going to touch them. Sorry, but if you got one that works, hey, I wish you the best of luck. I do. I really wish you the best of luck. Happy gaming. For those of you who got them systems and got bricked and are having hard drive issues, your systems are constantly crashing, your controllers are wandering, like they're moving on their own, like slanting to one screen. The only way I would get a wandering controller is I literally beat the crap out of a controller and it actually wanders from one section to the next, not when I first get the controller. You know, all that crap you guys are going through, wow, that is freaking insane. There is no way in the world, like I said, I would ever pick up one of those systems. Even if I could get one, you still run the risk of getting a brick or getting something that's going to mess up along the lines. But nah. And the thing about, I watched this guy from Tech USA. Are you kidding me? That's what you got to do on an Xbox series? Are you kidding me? So if you run out of hard drive space, you have to transfer your games over to a portable drive, save them there, and then reboot. Are you kidding me? Reboot them back and forth. You know what I do on PC? This is what I do. Games here, game played, game here, game played. That's it. I'm not transferring jack from left to right. It stays on my hard drives. If I want to upgrade to 15 terabyte, I can upgrade to 15 terabytes. If I want to put a petabyte in there, I can put a petabyte in there if I want. And yet there is a system called a petabyte. They're really massive, huge, massive hard drives. So used for corporations right now, the only ones that have access to those things. But yeah, it's called a petabyte. It's crazy. But anyway, and then on top of that, if you do build your own PCs, which I do, and our bottom line is pretty much they're easy to fix. I mean, they're not that hard. But anyway, you're your own tech team. That's the only thing about it. You're at the end of the day, you're technically your own tech team. Unless you would send it out to freaking Geek Squad and let them jokers do and charge your arm and a leg. That is never going to happen. I'll fix it myself. Other than that, yeah, your graphic card blows out on your PS5. You're not going there to rip that thing open unless you have experience in that field and you could do that. Then yeah, knock yourself out. But you don't know how that system's going to play right. If it's going to marry well with it to begin with. It may have special parts they might have customized for that system to keep people from doing that, knowing that they will. But on PC, you can rip out whatever the freak you want out of that box. I can put a freaking cup holder, a cigarette lighter, anything I want into that side of that bad boy. The only thing about it is the best thing about console is convenient. There's not a lot of upgrades and but not a lot of upgrade requirements and stuff like that. PC can become extremely expensive, but with the way these systems are now and the errors they've been having, you're safer off on a PC now than the console. The console, for some reason, is just having some horrible, horrible problems. And you're going to tell me next-gen system can't do 4K, you can't do 1440p? Are you kidding me? Your frame rate constantly drops all the time? That is horrible. And then they only gave you a terabyte of hard drive space? Why would you give a system a terabyte of hard drive space when the last gen system had a terabyte of hard drive space? Well, technically they started off with 500 because they were going to use DRM with the cloud, and then that kind of failed with Microsoft. Guess what? Sony was planning to do the same thing too. If Sony wasn't planning to do DRM, why did they have a 500 gig hard drive, knowing that their games themselves took about 40 gigs to download to begin with? You want to complete the drive probably around 27 games. So they had plans for that too. They watched Microsoft hang themselves and turn around and say, oh, no, we're not doing that. We're going to share and it's caring. That's where they started that campaign from. Oh, yeah. Because if not, they would have had a bigger hard drive than 500. They were depending on the cloud. So they were going to do it too. They just watched Microsoft hung themselves. I'm like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do it this way. Yeah, DRM. But if you're on PC anyway, you're going to be DRM anyway. You're going to do download. They slowly slipping that into you. You don't realize that majority of most of your games have to be downloaded to the drive anyway. Because you're kind of doing it anyway to begin with. They're just slowly processing in there. That's why they did one without a disc and one with the disc. It's slowly putting in. After a while, your console system is going to look just like a PC. There'll be no disk drive on it whatsoever, which you don't need to begin with. Because the majority of you now are downloading everything. Going to the PS4 store and buying what you want. I do it all day long. No point in going into GameStop to buy anything. You just download the game right there and be done. Midnight release. I do miss the midnight release. I do miss sitting in line with a bunch of people and I was all joking and laughing, waiting to get one particular game. You miss the experience on that. But then again, you're just home and go, doop, you're done. Let your game download and go run about the house. But yeah, you're going to, sooner or later, you're going to be using cloud, whether you like it or not. It's going to happen. They're slowly easing you into it. Because they can see that whole Microsoft experiment didn't work too well, but they're going to ease you into it. That's why one came with a disc and one didn't come with a disc. And sooner or later, that disc is going to be bye-bye. You're going to be downloading everything. Keep in mind, those of you who have a PS4, I have a PS4, I have two games on my PS4 that are physical discs. Everything else is download. Why would I go buy a physical disc when I can sit there in the comfort of my own home and download a game, download a movie, download this, download that, and I'm done. Only problem I got is hard drive space at the end of the day. But like I said, with the PS4, at least you can put external larger drives onto it. Yeah, man, with them new systems, yeah. That's what I said. At the end of the day, you'll have a few problems with systems. Bugs are going to happen. It happens, but not the first minute you come out of the gate. That's like the equivalent of watching a horse race and the gate doesn't come down. All the horses trip over each other. That's exactly what they did. It wasn't like one person got affected. A whole lot of people got affected. You even had people that were big-time YouTube stars, or I call them YouTube stars, that were basically complaining their systems shut down on them. And you can't put it in sleep mode. What's the purpose of having an item on your system that you can't use? That doesn't make any sense. So that's like spending $500,000 on a Bugatti, but you don't get the windshield or the tires. What the heck is that kind of nonsense? So there you go. That's pretty much, you bought a system that is halfway done. because they rushed that system. They rushed it. If you've been gaming as long as I have, since Vector Graphics and Pong, and you've watched releases after game system after game system, I remember when the NES came with their launch system, 64 came up with their launch system, Sega Saturn, Sega Master System. I've been around that era. Pong, Odyssey, all of them. The FM Martys, which was the FM Marty was the Scottie Pippen. That wasn't the Scottie Pippen. What was Scottie Pippen? Scottie Pippen had his own gaming system. Anyway, but yeah. Like I said, or FM Marty. FM Marty, it was FM Marty. Yeah, it was FM Marty. But anyway, yeah, I've seen systems have problems. And most Dreamcasters, when they came out, one of the problems they had on that one, we had a few memory card issues. PS1 had memory card issues. From time to time, you wouldn't get a disc to read right. All you had to do was just go in and get another disc. It would fix itself. But y'all talking about y'all systems are bricking from the door? No, I'm not going near that piece. I'm not going near that. I'm going to bust a piece of garbage, but I'm not going near it. And then these jokers act like nothing's wrong. Mind, this is a corporation. They couldn't care about you at the end of the day. It's just truth. It's what it is. It's money. Because if they did, then the scalpers would not be able to get their hands on that many units, keeping you from getting one. If they cared about it, all they care about is that you get that money. They're going to get that money either way. Either you buy it or the scalpers get it. They're going to get that money. They couldn't care less if you had to buy that system for $1,300, $1,400. And keep in mind, if you do buy a system for $1,300 or $1,400 and it does brick on you, it's going to be kind of hard to get credibility to get that fixed when you bought it from somebody that wasn't an authorized dealer. Yeah, think about that one too, about buying systems like that. But like I said, at the end of the day, and then they're talking about, Sony's talking about bringing on the VR2. So you're going to bring out the VR2 for a console system that is flooded with major bugs. There you go. That should tell you right there. Look it up. They're actually in the process of bringing out the VR2, which is the PS5 version of the VR. And you haven't got all the bugs out of your system fixed. So you drop what, a good $400 for this unit right here, and then you gotta buy. Oh, it's wired. You know, I don't care if it's wireless or not. I got an Oculus in the next room, so I'm good. But anyway, yeah, you gotta go through. You get that system and say, this thing actually works, but it's kind of like, I'll put it this way. You have to have the console in order to work the VR. There you go. If you don't have the console system, your VRs don't work. The Oculus system I got in the next room, I don't need a console system. Strap that thing on, I'm done. That's it. No wires, no cables, nothing. I can link it up to my gaming PC once it gets here, and I can jump on my Steam account, and I can run on my accounts all in VR, whatever I want to do. Yeah. I don't care how far they upgrade the system. You have to have the console system to run those VRs. And if the console system is buggy and it's shutting down on you, what's going to happen when you hook up that system? If you can't get a normal game to run off that without it basically crashing all the time, then what chance do you think you're going to have in VR? They haven't even fixed the console system first. I think they should skip the VR, put that on hold for another year or so, and fix the console system, get that running properly, make sure there's enough of them out there in the market so people can get them, and then you go back and you work on your VR system. But like, at the end of the day, they don't care. And keep in mind, I tell people this. People say, well, maybe they didn't know. They have beta testers. That's what beta testers are. They design these costumes and they send them off to a beta. You've seen beta testers come on YouTube all the time. They bring out a beta tester box. It comes in the whole unit and they open it up. They get to do the review on it. They get it for free. They get to play it. But those are people that did reviews. But then you have the actual beta testers to test the system out before they send it to those beta testers, to see if there's any bugs or any problems. So keep in mind, a system that had problems right from the door when it launched, a beta tester would have been able to pick up on that right from the door. If you picked up on it, what do you think the beta tester would have picked up on? And you got to think about them parts right there. People get all hyped up. I get the system. I got to get it. I got to have it. It's a must have. Yeah, okay, go ahead. Go hang yourself. That's the best way to do it. Go hang yourself, because that's pretty much what you're doing. Because if the beta tester had it longer than you did, just think of the nightmare that he picked up on it, that you picked up on the first day you got it at launch. Knew them systems were going to brick and have problems. They probably figured it wouldn't be that bad as it is. And like I said, you got a few people out there got systems that run perfectly. That's fantastic. Good for you. But if you ever went to the Xbox 360 fiasco of having your system red ring on you over again and again and again and again and again, it's a lesson learned not to repeat. And I went through that nightmare already. I went through a ton of boxes. Right back to GameStop, buy another box. Go back to GameStop, buy another box. Go to Walmart, buy another box. When I got the core system when it came out, burnt out. My core system burnt out from playing Samurai Showdown because, number one, if you ever took apart an Xbox 360 before, they had heat shields in them. They had metal plates inside of a system that had a poor time of pushing out heat. They had a little tiny fan in the back of it, about like that big. And then from there, you had your optical drive was sitting that freaking close to the GPU. It was literally sitting right on top of it. Then they had some kind of coil support spring system where they had it locked down. There were no, when you usually have a CPU, you have individual bolts that were bolted down to the actual motherboard. You'll see the bolts on the opposite side. This didn't have that. This had a spring lock system. So it was actually being held together by the thermal paste that they had in between the GPU and basically the motherboard itself. So keep in mind, when a motherboard starts to heat up, it is actually moving back and forth. It is slowly warping. And whatever cheap thermal paste they used became detached. And that's how the springs came up, letting a little gap in there to cause your system to burn out. That was one of the ways it would go. And the other one was basically just having your optical drive literally sitting inches away from your GPU. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. There you go. I took apart enough of them. The guy who came in the room, I was talking about the guy, he basically specially danced with the 360 in a nicer term of saying it. He's a programmer. Yeah, he was known for basically modifying the system. He's pretty good at it. And he was telling me from the door. I even saw when I popped one open, I was like, you got to be kidding me. I brought mine. I was like, who builds a system like this? Yeah. So those systems burnt out left and right. And no matter which one you got, then you got the coffin. They would send you the coffin. Of course, means you'd be away from your friends for a while because you couldn't game with them because you would get the coffin in the mail and you put it in the box and they would send it over to Microsoft and they give you a ticket. And then you'd wait like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month, depending on how many people are waiting before you. Then you get the box back, open it up, have a little tag on it. They give you maybe a 1 month for Xbox Live for free for your inconvenience. Jump online and play. Like, yeah, I'm back online. My box is working. Everything's good. I'm good to go. I think they fixed it this time. Then about a month later, doop, your system burn, red ring, pop up again. Your system shut off. Get the little error code to pop up. Send it back to Microsoft again. They call themselves fixing it, bringing it back to you, and you go through it again. Then you say, I'm just going to buy me a whole new system. So you go out and buy a whole new system, and then later on that happens. And then they come out with the Xbox Elite system, which is the black system. They came out the 360 Elite, which was supposed to have a frost chip in it to keep the system from burning out, and you didn't have to worry about any more red rings. This was just going to figure out to fix all the problems with the red ring. As a matter of fact, that's the one that came out with the 120 gig hard drive. Yeah, they came with a 120 gig hard drive on that one. So anyway, you get that one, which I bought one of those when it came out. I paid $500 for mine. Yep, went down and bought the system, $500. With the tax and all, came around 500 something. But yeah, about 400 something, near to 500. Get home. It lasts longer than the other systems, but guess what? Eventually, that sucker red ringed on me and burned out on me. Gone. Yep. Gone. I went out and bought the Halo Limited Edition. I bought the Resident Evil Limited Edition with the red controls, the Gears of War with the red controls. The Gears of War had a 1 terabyte hard drive, and that one right there. Bought that one right there. I bought the arcade. The best one that actually worked the longest was actually the arcade. For some reason, the arcades just worked. But I went through all those systems just to have one system burn out again and again and again and again. So excuse me if I was a little bit skeptical about going near the Xbox systems when the new systems came out. I was terrified to go near those systems for the simple fact that I went through that whole 360 nightmare. And now seeing this happen, and keep in mind, when the 360 Red Ring of Death came out, it was rare that somebody got hit with one of them right from the door. It was rare. Usually you would get hit with that somewhere between 6 months to a year down the line. You would get hit with a red ring. Nothing where you're basically getting a train wreck the minute you get a console system that bricks. And I have friends who have those console systems and they bricked. As a matter of fact, my cousin got one, posted it up on Facebook when he first got it. And guess where it's at? Sitting in his closet right now. It's in his closet. In the original box. Playing Spider-Man, went in sleep mode, and he bricked the system. Take it back and get another one? How? How are you going to take it back and get another one? There's not enough of it. You can't even go into a store and exchange and get another one. There's none of them in the stores. If they have them, and if they do have them in the stores because the systems are so rare to get, How much you want to believe that some of the sales clerks, and I used to know people who worked at GameStop, like I knew managers that worked at GameStop where certain items would come in and they would hold these items back for themselves or to sell to somebody else that knew that they worked for GameStop and was willing to pay more money than actually what their item was worth in the store. Tell me you don't know that doesn't happen in GameStop. As a matter of fact, I did a video, if I can find it, at the time when I was doing a lot of shopping at GameStop, and I was talking about dumpster diving at GameStop. And GameStop throws out a lot of new stuff in their dumpsters. And I actually came home, did a video in my room. I had all these posters and all this crazy stuff. Like, where'd you get this from? In the back of GameStop's dumpster. But I didn't have to dive. Basically, I could go into the store. You can go into a store and just ask for the displays. They'll sell them to you, or you can get them for free. Because all they're going to do is just take it, ball it up, and throw it in the trash. They'll take all that time to fix it up, and then when it's depleted its purpose, they'll throw it in the trash, or one of them will just take it home. But if you want one, just go in and just ask for any of their old posters and stuff. Most of the stuff, they'll give you that for free. Or if you know the managers, you want something before they throw it in the trash, they'll let you know. Or they'll call you up. I had a few managers calling like, yo, we got this display here. Do you want it? And I went and picked it up. But yeah, that's pretty much it right there, But, yeah, at the end of the day, I have already decided. And you saw the gaming PCs I was building. That gaming PC was built because Xbox came up with the DRM, and I said, that's it, I'm done. I'm not doing DRM on a console system because that means not too many people are going to be online because you can't actually share that game when you're on DRM. Once you buy the license, it's yours, and that's it. You can't share it with anyone. On Steam, you can. Steam, you can gift games. I gift games on Steam all the time. So I'm playing with somebody, they don't have the game, I'll buy it. Well, I still got to buy the game. I can't give them my physical game. But I got to buy the game and gift it to them. I forgot. You still have to buy the game and give it to them. So, and they like you can take a disc to somebody. Like, here you go, Charles. Take this and you can play this right here. Can't do that on there. That's the only thing about downloading games. Once it's yours, it's yours. You own license to it. But anyway, to a certain degree. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it right there. Yep. The world of gaming. It is yours. It's yours. That's how it goes. Or not. But, yeah. This year, after seeing how these console systems, how they played out, no, I'm not getting one. I don't care. I don't care that one. You have to spend a lot of money for a gaming system. I mean, I got the Ocular. I got the ones for the 256 gigs on it because I know myself, But after going into the dashboard to see their store to see what they had to offer, they got a lot of stuff in there. I'm not going to use that much memory anyway to begin with. The only thing I don't like about it is I don't like how it fits over your face because it comes down right under my nose and it just feels like it doesn't fit tight enough to my face. The Sonys, on the other hand, they're freaking flawless. I give them that. The Sony headsets, when you put on, they are flawless. They fit right to your face like a glove. But those right there, they have a little problem right there just connecting to your face. There's an easy way to fix that. You have to buy the advanced version of the headband. That's all. It's a hard headband that comes with it, which I already bought with an extra battery pack. The batteries on it last 2 hours. That's it. But you can get an extension battery that can go to 6 to 8. Or you can, somebody took a battery charger that they use for charging your phone when you're away. You can use one of those. He had Velcroed it up to the side, which I thought was pretty cool. But there's ways you can extend your battery life. But to tell you the truth, if you're in VR, like who the heck's going to spend that much time in VR to begin with? I mean, if you do, I don't. Most I spend in VR is probably, I'm lucky if I do 30 minutes in there. That's it. And now if I'm switching over to gaming, that's no, I got to take that back. Because I was on the PS4. I did 8 hours. I did about 8 hours in the VR. But yeah, I did 8 hours in there. I did remember that. I beat the entire Assassin's Creed. I beat that game not in VR. I played it through VR because I had a giant screen in my face. It didn't have to be in VR. I was using the giant screen to watch movies and stuff. And that way she could watch the TV and I don't bother with her because I have my game system hooked up to the projector downstairs. And instead of bothering her because she wanted to watch her shows and stuff, I had it hooked up to the VR system, had 120 inch screen, did in my face, and I'm in there playing in there. So yeah, I did beat the entire game of Assassin's Creed in VR display. So that's different. But yeah, I'm probably going to upgrade my battery. Because the game Back 4 Blood is coming out. Back 4 Blood. If you're a fan of Left 4 Dead, Back for Blood is going to be the new version of Left 4 Dead, and it is going to be insane. I'm already recruiting people on my team to run with. Already. I'm already putting out response like, yo, you got so and so and so. I'm doing mine on PC. I'm just going to get one version for the PS4 because I got friends who still play on the PS4 and my other version for PC. I'm just going to get 2 of them. Back for Blood. Been a wonderful day. A wonderful day. Mr. Bird talks too much. Yes, he does. He don't care. All right, got the bottom half done. That's finished. That's utilized for good. Way to utilize that tape. Oh, man. So let's see what we got left. We got another set of LED lights. I can use this for the whatchamacallit. I gotta finish the LED light in the circuit room. That has to be finished up. That done. Remember I told you about the painter box? Yeah, you turn the painter box into a trash can when you're done. Yep, paint your screen and then turn it to a trash can when you're done. All right, let me give you all this stuff right here. The manual. If we had to hook up LED lights, you don't need that stuff to begin with. It's pretty simple and easy. It's all plugged in play. What's this? All right, that's all done. That's finished. Get my vacuum cleaner and vacuum up my gaming room. What we have here. All right, so we're going to start on that project right there. I'm going to need a knife for that one for cutting open that box. And I'm going to have to get my get some items online for that. So I'm definitely going to need some caution tape. And I need some, the last thing I got to do too, I got to get some visible UV paint so those stickers can glow in the dark. So that's what I have to get next. Once I get the tape in here, because the tape comes today, I can basically tape out this screen again. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the green screen in there, bring the projector up here, and I still got to do the rust job for that up there. It has to be done next. So I'm done in here. This is all finished. Pull this up to the side. I think I'm going to take that. No, I can leave the tape there. I can do the rust job. Done. I've got extra lights here, so I think I'm gonna let strip my chair while I'm here. Yeah, I'm gonna let strip my chair while I'm here. So the chair right here, I'm gonna flip this up, and I'm gonna put my LED lights in the bottom of it. Let me step myself up here a little later. Tell you something, you want LED lights to have a real eerie glow to them, get the outdoor glow in the dark LED lights. They have really nice. They give off a nice soft glow. I think that's what I'm going to do for the ones when I do the display for the box. When I do the design for the box, I'm going to get some LED lights that pulsate. They go woo. That's what I need for the box. So I'm going to order those right now. But this is what we got done today. So all we got to do next is we have to do the rust job because the stucco is already dry on here. I'm going to get some glow-in-the-dark UV paint, which is going to be clear, so I can basically go over top my my stickers so they'll glow in the dark. All this is finished up right here. We got to paint the screen in the middle. On this side right here, I'm actually going to double do 2 fans stacked on top of each other right there to the side. We're going to turn that into a little small nuclear reactor right there connected to the side because all the power cords are from here, and that's all going to intertwine into the power cords. I'm going to use some of this tape right here, that caution tape right there, and we're going to use that to make a little, like something that lights up on the side right there. You'll see when I put it all together because usually when I talk about it, it doesn't make any sense. I have to build it. I'm going to turn that into something pretty cool. So take a long look at that because the idea is going through my head for that. It's going to be crazy. So let's get that down the stairs. Crazy. Is it crazy? No, it's crazy. I got to measure my screen downstairs because the one downstairs is going into this room. So I'm going to mount it right here and here so I can roll it up and down. I can have my windows, the air conditioning, all that can be running, and at nighttime I can bring that right back down. Or whatever time I play with it, I don't know. So that's where that's going. I want to have one more look at it. Yeah. Well, almost done. And then we'll have that matching the computer. Oh, walking off the remote control again. It's one of my big mistakes. Gotta stop doing that. And I'm gonna leave that there because I need that from dispose of the rest of that trash. I need this downstairs. I need to measure the screen downstairs. We need the scissors here because we need that. No. I have the knife on me. I need the knife on me. I gotta cut this box open too for the design. All right, I'll get another one from downstairs because to the life of me, I don't know where I put it at. It could be anywhere. No. I didn't just go to the bathroom and splash in my toilet. All right. Bear with me. Now that's the other screen right there. This one's going to have the black on the bone white border with the black screen, so it's going to be vice versa. Usually the screens are white on the inside and the borders are black. This time we are going to do it with the opposite. All right, so I have to lean over and I have to cover that IR sensor so when I turn this one on, it doesn't trigger this one. So this one's already finished already. Now all I got to do with this is just finish the, so the border, not the border, but the top part of the projection screen, it's going to look like this. So it all blends in together. And I'm going to do the cables like that, but this one's all finished and done. Came out quite nice. It runs with no problem whatsoever. I can get access to my menu, all that good stuff. And these right here, these compartments right here, they come off so I can get access to my lamps and to cleaning my filters. All that comes out. Oh, runs with no problem. Got access to all this moves. Wrong way, bird, wrong way, other way. Wrong way. I wonder why my zoom is so far up. Oh, it's not far up. Okay, cool. There we go. Boom. Done. Working. No problem whatsoever. So now I gotta order me a gaming PC, a small form factor gaming PC. I need one the size of a GameCube because I'm literally gonna put a computer in there. You can get all those micro ATX boards and all that stuff. And I'm gonna put all that into a little computer. I'm gonna get me maybe a clear UFO case, and I'm gonna get some silicone, seal the whole inside of it up real nice. Then I'm gonna drop everything inside of it, throw some LED lights, probably get some LE wire because that'll be the easiest thing to run through it. And then after that, I'm just gonna basically just fill it up, fill that little tank up, make it like a little bio chamber container, just fill it all the way up with some vegetable oil and run it just like that. Put a nice little platform on the side of it. Put a nice little reactor. I'm turning it to actual like a power like reactor, but it's gonna be a computer. That's what we do next. So I guess I'm going back into building PCs again. That right there sparked it. And this is going to be next. I can't wait to get this one done. I just wait for my tape to get here. So my tape will be, woo, it's a big bird. I gotta wait for my tape to get here. So once my tape gets here, I'll be back on. We'll get this taped up. This is going to have a 12 painted in the middle of it, a black 12. That'll be done. That'll take no time at all. We'll be to hang that up and we'll be to enjoy that today. I do want to get the LED lights, but the LED lights won't be here until probably today. If I get them today. So the LED lights are going to be put not on the top. I want them on the bottom. I want them down here at the bottom, not to the brim here, but I want it at the bottom of the back, because the bracket system I got for Elite, it comes out from the wall about that far from the wall. So this thing's going to have this much out from the wall. And since my curtains in the back are white, wall's white, it's going to reflect quite nicely off the back of it. That's what I'm going to do. If I get the EL wire and a battery pack, because they do make them in battery packs, I'll probably run a nice long trace along the side of this at the bottom and connect that to the bottom too. So I'll put that up there too. All right, well, I'm done for today. That's just all I can do, unless I start carving the box here, getting the box ready for the display stand. If you want to watch that, I don't know. There's some light in here. My vintage flashlight. A vintage flashlight. So this is going in the trash because didn't need to use this at all, period. I don't think I am going to use it. I don't know what I was thinking, was buying spray, because I can't be around aerosol cans because they trigger me. So that's not going to work. What are these? Are these good lights or are these bad lights? Nah, I can't cut it. I have to wait until I get the whatchamacallit has to be here. I need the contact paper. So I had to cover all this in contact paper. Then I got to rip it open. So let me go order some stuff. Sorry about that. This is how we're going to make the platform, like so. So I know it doesn't look like much, but give it time. Trust me, when I get done with it, it's going to look creeping crazy. So that's going to be the platform for where that projector is going to sit on top of over here. Of course, we're going to do this top all bone white because it needs to reflect off those lights. Those lights need to reflect or push out better if this is bone white. So what we're going to do with this is we're basically going to cover the entire thing with some steel contact paper. We're going to take a knife, we're going to cut the sides of it, we're going to buckle the sides out. Keep in mind this is not going to collapse. I'm going to put I'm going to put little wooden pegs that'll go from here down to here, and that way I can rip this open and open this up without basically weakening the structure that may cause my projector to lean in and hit the floor. So we're going to have a peg system in here, but we're going to be to rip the box open, tear it open a little bit, put some of that caulking in there and make it like the box was corroded. So we'll make this all nice and green. We'll rust it out a little bit here and here, here and here, and then we'll make it like the box is like ripped open. I'll get some bio goo, which is pretty easy to make that stuff. You use what's it called? Silicone to make that stuff. It's coated silicone and UV paint that makes it glow. And we can run EON wires or EL wires into the silicone in and out, and that way it'll glow. It'll charge up the paint. So we'll do it with that one right there. And then we'll rust all this out, put some warning labels here and here. Do not stand here and there. And we'll just make this a huge massive bio container. We'll have that sitting on top of it. It's going to match up real nice. All right. That being said, I'm out of here, and God bless.